welcome to or back to Growth Rising. I'm Bird, and on this channel, we just talk about all things dealing with astrology, and we've been going through the Mercury placements. And so, on the last video, we were talking about Libra and Mercury. So, of course, today is going to be Scorpio. And if you do not know what your Mercury placement is, for one, if your sun is in Libra, Scorpio, or Sagittarius, there's a chance for your Mercury to be in Scorpio. But you can always go to Google and type in free birth chart calculator, or go to like astroseek.com and just type in your birthday, place, and time, and you'll be able to see your full birth chart. And so, if you do have Mercury in Scorpio, you can be somebody who does not like to, be lied to, because for one, you pay attention to everything, like literally everything. And a couple of things that I have heard about this specific placement with Mercury in Scorpio is, you might be somebody who can be a big psychic, because you're you can be very in tune with the spiritual realm. And so you can be a big psychic, or, you might have, some very strong spiritual gifts, because Mercury does deal with the mind and the way that we communicate and, like our writing. And so Scorpio is like one of the deepest and most mysterious signs of all of the signs of the zodiac. So if you do have this placement, that could be something that you experience. But also, if you have this placement, to a lot of people, you are not easy to read. You can be somebody who people might think that they like, okay, I think I got her now. But then you might do something, they're just like, okay, I have no idea anything about her anymore. Um, Once you set your mind to something, there's like no stopping you, because it's like you see the goal, and now it's like, okay, I'm gonna do whatever I can to make sure I reach this goal. And also, with Mercury in Scorpio, you want to pay attention to your Pluto and to your Mars. And so if you were born between 1983 and 1995, there's a good chance that your Pluto is in Scorpio. So your Pluto is in its rulership. Like, your Pluto is so strong, there's nothing holding it back. And so if your Mercury is conjunct Pluto, bless your heart. But that's not a bad thing. And also pay attention to your Mars, because in the traditional astrology, Mars is the traditional ruler of Scorpio. So that's why you might can see some similarities between Aries and Scorpio. But Scorpio is the more move in the shadows type, and Aries is more like charge. But anyway, back to Mercury and Scorpio. You can have very intense emotions, but it's not necessarily like your emotions are always going to affect your thoughts. Like, it's not going to be necessarily a blurred line all the time, unless it's something that you're truly, truly against, or like if you had a traumatic experience, you know, then the emotion and thoughts will start to, intertwine. But just because you have very intense emotion does not mean that that's literally the way that you're thinking is off of your emotions. Um, and like I said earlier, you can pay attention to detail. Like, you might be the type of person who would notice if somebody always come home from work or school or whatever with their left hand in their pocket, you know, like just whistling because they done had a good day, like every single day. And then you notice when they don't have their left hand in their pocket and they're not whistling. They just come in the house and like, hey, how you doing, or something, or oh, today was tough. Like, you would be the person to pick up on it, even if nobody else is, you know, even down to the left hand being in the pocket. I don't know why that illustration came to mind, but it just did. But yeah, you can pay attention to that. And with you paying attention to such small details, there's really no point in people lying to you, because most likely you have already picked up on whatever has been changed, whatever has been a bit different. Mercury does like details, and Scorpio is deep. So you're going to pay attention to the little tiny stuff. And with this placement, you can be obsessive. Like you can be a bit obsessive. So, and you can also be the type of person to play the long game. So you might not just pop off at the mouth whenever you find out something. And also, with this placement, you can be an overthinker. Like I have said multiple times already throughout the video, Scorpio is deep. Sometimes you will get lost in your own thoughts with this placement, and you have to climb up out of them. Like, for example, you might like to learn something about whatever topic interests you. So, like, let's say you just learned about astrology and now you're craving to know more and more astrology to the point it's like, I have to know every single thing. I have to get deeper, deeper, deeper into this. Like, why is this like this and that like that? Like, it's like you're addicted to it. And you just want to dive deeper and deeper into it until you can learn everything that your mind can absorb. So, yeah, Scorpio can be pretty obsessive. And with Mercury there dealing with learning, you want to learn everything about whatever topic that interests you. And if you do have this placement, um, there's a chance that you could have mental health issues. Everyone with this placement will not, because there just might be some things that everyone don't get with the way that your mind works, and so it can be like deemed deviant because it's not normal in our society. But everybody with this placement will not necessarily have mental health issues. It's just a possibility because of where Mercury lies, and Mercury deals with you know your mind. And also, you can be the type of person who does not like attention. You prefer to sit back and observe people. And you might not be so quick to open up to others because you like to observe. It might take a lot for you to trust someone because it's like, let me keep my walls up until I know that I can trust you. And whenever it gets to that point, once somebody betrays your trust, it's like they have lost your trust. Like they just can't get it back. If they ever can get it back, I know they had to go through a lot just to get your trust back. Because I mean, if you are a Scorpio, if you have your Mercury in Scorpio, you can ask a Scorpio sun and a Scorpio rising. Once that trust is lost, you might as well just hang it up, because you're gonna have to go through a lot just to gain somebody in with those strong Scorpio placements trust back. Because for one, trust is not something that's just given to you, it's earned. If you have the Mercury in Scorpio, it's like you earn my trust. You're not just automatically giving it, because for one, you want to stay closed up into yourself and away from people until you feel comfortable. And with this placement, you will be more of a listener than a talker, because you're observing things. You want to know more about whoever it is around you to know how safe it is for you to truly be yourself and to truly talk about the things that you want to talk about. Because, for one, you have Mercury in Scorpio. There can be some very deep stuff that you talk about that everybody's not even able to hear yet. Um, and you can also be the type of person who have a hard time asking for help, because really you'll just prefer to do it on your own. If you can do it on your own, you will. You don't really want to involve a lot of other people into your business, and you don't want to ever seem like you can't do something. So if you ask somebody for help, it took a lot for you to get to that point. And you can also be very good at reading cues. because it's like you can easily read a room. And if you do have this placement, you can be very, very honest, a very honest person. And if you have a Mercury Scorpio and a Sagittarius Sun, I'll just listen very carefully. Everybody is not ready to hear that honesty. And whenever you are honest with people, some people are going to take that as being rude or mean, and you are not trying to come off that way. So, very carefully, all of the Mercury and Scorpio, everyone does not appreciate honesty the same way that you do. Some people are not ready to hear it. And even if you think that, it's not that big of a deal, to them it can be because you're not seeing it the way that they're seeing it. It might hurt somebody's feelings. And that's why I also say with the Sag Sun, because a Sagittarius Sun can be brutally honest. And with your Mercury and Scorpio, that just adds on to that brutally honesty. And you can also be a very sarcastic person. So everybody is not going to know how to handle you, and that is okay. Everybody is not supposed to be able to handle you. That's why you have those walls up in the first place, because everybody don't deserve that access to you yet. So if you do have this placement, just let me know what all you resonated with, and also if there was anything that I might have left out. But thank you for watching and have a good one.